don't care now. You just rather watch me fall. From a quarter mile, I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, 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 oblivion. Oh, going fall into oblivion. Fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, 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 oblivion. I'm going in. You can't fall asleep when you're counting stars. Get it together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve. I know you wanna see me fall. From a quarter mile, I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it up, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion, oblivion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight for a lovely game of CEA. We'll have teams of Syracuse versus Western Michigan, and I am Keldev, and I'm of course joined here today by Bagel.
Hello, everybody.
And of the course, this is a game of CEA Open, so should be a really interesting one to see how this one goes. And on the roster of Syracuse side, we will have Tick Up, Valued, Obese Tyrese, Boozler, Flaccid, and for Western Michigan, we will have Nug 30, Bob Ross 69, PhD Scott, Mr. Fizzy, and one more who's just still on his way. And we will be heading into Cafe as our first map, as that is Western Michigan's map pick. And of course, Western Michigan will be starting on attack. Have any fun thoughts for this map?
Not too many fun thoughts. Syracuse hasn't played Cafe yet this season. They haven't banned it either yet, though, so it's not like they're actively avoiding playing this map. So they should be prepared to take on whatever Michigan has to offer here.
Oh, yeah. And it looks like our last player has finally entered the lobby of Later Nerd. And this looks like maybe a little bit of fun one. Realistically, as everyone knows, Cafe the defense strong side map, so this will really be a match of who can really take more attack sided maps, or who knows. The last cast I did, it ended up becoming attack sided map, and suddenly no one could win on defense.
Yeah,
Always a fun time.
yeah.
Yeah,
We have been noticing a shift towards attacker-sided maps recently. People have been taking more aggressive actions on their attacks as opposed to, playing it safer. So that should be interesting to see how these two teams work around that situation.
and definitely interested in seeing some nice aggressive play coming in from the attackers, as they really have to push into those sites, and there's just so many angles that they could keep getting flanked at. So realistically, the faster you go in this top floor site, the more better you usually end up being, unless of course you just get out gunned. But that's a whole other matter.
Yeah, if the attacking teams can take those comfort sites from the defenders, then I think we're going to be looking at an attacker-sided game here today on this beautiful afternoon on Cafe Dostoevsky.
Oh yeah, and here we go, getting started into map ban. Sorry, not ban. It's some character bans now. Starting off with the side of Syracuse with their first attacker ban. Here we go. I'm guessing we're gonna see a Mira ban, even though I don't think anyone's gonna really bring a Mira anyways.
I feel
We're
like
gonna
people just
see,
ban the Mira, just
yeah,
generally, even if they don't want to play it.
you never risk it, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Thatcher ban, really good for slowing down those attackers, as it causes them to do a lot more risky play in order to get rid of those bandit batteries or KI charges.
Yeah,
Really good ban for Syracuse.
a lot of teams will have to rework their attack strategies around a Thatcher ban, although we have been seeing a lot of them recently, so I imagine most teams are ready to deal with the lack of a Thatcher. Oh, Montaigne coming out. I mean, that makes sense. A lot of teams don't
Yeah,
like to play against the shield operators, even if there would be a better attacker ban, they just don't wanna have to deal with it at all, so,
not only
I
that,
would
but
I
like,
would do it.
especially in a site where being able to push so many angles at the same time is a little bit difficult. Montaigne's a pretty good op to actually take to try to like consolidate all the information and be able to kind of eliminate a little bit of stress off of your team. As once you bring that Montaigne and you start pushing down, for example, Whitehall, if you could get that guy out of bathroom, then you're just gonna end up taking up a lot of space. Montaigne, really, really powerful operator.
Yeah, you've definitely consolidated the defense into an area where you know they're gonna be playing. Oh, and I'm gonna get the
Ooh,
Echo and the Maestro bands here.
looks like I am wrong today, and the mirror will actually be able to
Yeah,
see the light of the day.
we'll see if they actually get some play on here. I imagine we'll see some mirror play on the top floor, over by the bars. There's like this map is one of those maps where nobody really knows what to call. I know Kickstar is working on his own, um, like consolidated
Yeah,
call out list. So if anybody has any good call outs for this map, go over and fill out his survey. They're working on the top floor of this map right now, and it's pretty
it's
interesting. A lot of people call a lot of people a lot of things.
yeah. Like I remember at first, I used to make fun of a friend for calling something heaven, and then 5 minutes later, I never stopped calling it heaven because it just made sense after that.
Yeah, coming from CS, having those is very interesting. Having the heaven callouts.
Looks like we'll be seeing a Valk 6 pick from the Pulse away from the lovely. Let me just throw the C4 win the game operator into
Yeah.
the other. Let me throw the C4 win the game operator. So that's, I would like to call it the more hard mode because you still do have a little bit of or you can give yourself cameras to watch out for those plants, but at the same time, if they're not planting in that specified area or if they shoot the cam, then you lose that vision.
Yeah, you
at
had
that
none
point
of that.
just guessing all over again.
Yep. So we'll see if they can take out those Valk cams early. I imagine we're going to see a couple of them outside, or at least one, because a lot of the pushes on this map come from windows and such.
And that IQ was also hard stuck too, so they definitely do know they can't get raid with too many default regular cam spots, as the IQ will definitely be looking in those areas to see if it is placed there. And
Yeah, definitely.
Probably have to get a little creative here. Ooh, looks like we got an entirely front area spawn with Nug in the back. Going for a little bit of a nicer push onto the front side, as honestly speaking, everyone spawn peeks every single park and Christmas market. You never really see a spawn peek on front area as much, even though it definitely is still possible. It's just no one ever actually expects you to spawn there at all, because before it was just so infamous for being the instant death area of spawning, because if anyone decided to spawn peek, it was almost impossible to stop them.
Yeah, there was no cover over on that spawn.
Honestly speaking, I feel like that's why it works so much times. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
Spawning there and whatnot, because everyone just at that point just knew never spawn there. It looks like we'll be seeing them start to drop down hatch and start to work around these side of red stairs, as they're gonna be going for the nice breach charge onto that wall. Obese Tyrese playing downstairs inside of reading area, looking to see if he can catch anyone off guard. As looks like the kite ended up throwing the charge right onto the wall right before the thermite could do anything about it.
Takeup is going to find himself in a situation here, though. Yeah, immediately taken out by the IQ of PhD Scott over there.
Ooh, valued with the refrag, though, with the headshot onto the IQ. Bolting down this nice little area here, which is another spot that, of course, no consolidated call-out, but I'm going to be throwing the C4 out onto the couch. Some shots going down to the thermite, not going to take him down just yet. Later Nerd is going to take down Valued, though, as Later Nerd is going to start pushing in from the window, and looks like the defender's going to have to start backing up now.
That was interesting how Valkyrie was able to get out of that spot initially, but not eventually.
Oh, charge.
Doc gets. Oh, you love to see that, be able to get up, get that revive from so far away.
Especially in a lot of situations like that, you end up seeing the frag coming in as people just immediately are able to execute anyone who ends up being down. And now we're going to see a little bit more of a fast-paced push here as attackers end up taking more space here. 50 seconds left on the clock for them, too. They're in a pretty good spot, all things considered. That's a thermite getting his head taken off by the doctor. And now at this point, Fizzy going to try to be pushing up and going for the plant as Later Nerd takes down Flaccid. Fan Wave goes out, C4 gets thrown out. And oh my goodness, Jaeger's just trying to hold down that hall, but it looks like Fizzy is going to get this plant. And how the roles have swapped.
Yeah, now we're going to see a retake scenario. Fizzy able to get that diffuser down with basically like 5 HP on this sledge. And now Boozler going to get taken down by Later Nerd over inside of Piano. And now it's all up to Tyrese. Pushing forward, they know where he is.
Every single angle. Time is ticking down. He's going to have to start swinging in rapidly. Going to peek the freezer, not see anyone, but then immediately going to get the swing out from Fizzy on low HP. Really well played there on the side of the attackers, of which I believe was West Michigan.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Tyrese there. He knew what he had to do, but I think he also knew in his head that it was kind of an unwinnable scenario. His movement was great, and he played the right angles. There just ended up being too many of them for him to cover. So
I also want to point out too, the side where they, generally you said before, people put mirror window. Right on that wall of leading into freezer, they put the one reinforcement, but they actually didn't put a rotation there. That kind of made the Jaeger's job from Obese Tyrese a little bit harder, because it made that sledge that much more safer, as there's one less angle for him to worry about. So all he was really caring about is when do they walk into freezer, and that's when I peak. And since he had the teammate inside of all the way into, I believe that is for blanking on what that place is called, Cocktail Lounge? No, Fireplace? I can't remember. Either way, that ground hall where the piano is. There we go.
yeah.
had the teammate there just to cover and be able to call out exactly when he's in freezer and indicate for
Attackers need to
the
locate
sledge
and
just to
defuse
peek
the
out right
bomb.
at that moment.
Yeah, that as the sledge chilling over there in freezer with such low HP, that call out, that information is incredibly valuable for you because if you just peek out at the wrong time, it's one bullet's over for you. Yeah, that hold was executed pretty much perfectly from the defense, or from the attack rather, of Western Michigan. We'll see now if Syracuse can rebuff their defensive strategies and maybe come out with a win on this
Attackers
round.
have located a bomb.
And it looks like they're still not going to be opening up that rotation into freezer. A little bit
10
interesting
seconds
here,
remaining.
as that definitely makes retaking the site a little bit easier. But
5 seconds.
we'll see if it ends up paying out for them instead, or if they end up just adapting to it.
Yeah, Tick Up opting for the Bandit this time instead of the Kaid. Maybe didn't want to have to deal with that TCSG. I know a lot of people like that gun. I not
I
personally. a fan of
am
it,
not a
but
fan of that gun. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
I can't do DMRs, but some people can. And I guess Tick Up thought maybe this wasn't the right scenario for DMR over in piano for him.
Yeah, I swear to God, that's like one of those guns that you see everyone get a headshot onto you with in like 3 seconds, but then you fire it like a whole clip into someone and they're still alive.
Yep. It's like everyone else can use it but me. It's awful.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that drone just popped right in front of the Tick Up's face. They're gonna immediately take it out, eliminate that vision from the side of West Michigan. There we go. Syracuse. We're gonna have the Mozzie on bottom floor, gonna be roaming onto the second floor after some time passes, letting the attackers take the second floor, and then immediately just being able to flank. Not only that, but he is also playing on red stairs, which you could get a sight onto the hatch, and also last time he did throw the C4 from that staircase into PhD Scott. Fortunately, didn't catch anything, but
A run
might be
out?
getting in.
Kitchen? Yeah, he is. He's outside. Gets
yeah,
one.
the
Moves, gets
long
one. Yeah, on the rappel. Ran right outside kitchen. Or
That's a-
bakery, rather. Yeah.
That's a really good run out too, because people don't really expect it, especially if you have to run out so far in order to get people repelling. Makes it such a good spawn peek, and at this point, he's gonna stick here as the Nomad's gonna be spending time on him, but valued. Gonna catch Fizzy at the same time as he drops down the hatch. 2 operators off the board for the attackers. Boozler looking to see if he can get a third, but PhD Scott will take one back for his team as he takes down Flaccid.
Yeah, now Boozler, they know where he is. I think they've just had to leave him alone a little bit. PhD Scott coming around the corner. Tick-Up has the angle lined up. We'll see who gets the edge on this gunfight.
And Scott coming in with his doctor, trying to flex on them his knowledge. But as he gets the drone work going in, be able to let him know exactly where he needs to be looked. Takes down Tick-Up, but Valued can take him right back, shutting down the doctor. And at this point, Bob Ross going to repel into the window, bringing the Nomad air jabs. Actually, sorry, gun left on him. He's going to be using that lovely ARX, though, to try to get some shots onto the wall. Fortunately, Valkyrie backed up all the way to the backside. Looks like he's going to be able to get an opportunity to revive Nug here. Possibly see if he can get something going.
Being able to revive Nug here is hugely important, making this 1v3 into a 2v3 again. Even though Nug has very low health, that's going to be very important to cover all these angles.
Ooh, no, Beast
Boozler
Tyrese.
downstairs without the C4 anymore, so they don't have to worry about that being thrown up from below them.
Yeah, Beast Tyrese and I believe the Mozzie both downstairs waiting. I think the Mozzie is going to be going up white stairs now. Not going to be going for a flank in this situation. Going to play the long angle and take down Nug as Valued headshots Bob Ross at the same time. Really well played on the defenders this time.
With the time running so low as the defenders, you know that the push is going to come in as soon as possible for the attackers. So with that being said, they knew exactly where the attackers were, and they had those angles able to be covered.
And you could just tell there too, like the spawn peak coming in from that Mozzie just ended up making quite a big impact. That's the Sophia's down. That's a lot of the entry power because you can use those concussions to kind of give yourself information and also stun the defenders as you push in. So that was a lot of entry power lost on the side of West Michigan there. So really, where things really came down good for Syracuse, and it looks like we'll be seeing the 6 pick into Capcan, which I'm suspecting is going to get changed off because that's always my luck every single time. Oh, he's taking it. Oh my goodness, he's actually taking it. I actually get to see a nice treat.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
You don't get to see that very often.
Capcan just really good at just entirely like, for example, if they're planning on playing a really hard defense on the bottom floor and they're afraid of like losing their power and roamers to the top floor and all that, they could just easily set almost every single mine up on the top floor, and then kind of just sit there on site and just hear nothing but explosions going off left and right. It's like an orchestra when you're playing the Capcan.
Yeah, exactly. The intel gathered from those mines going off, and also, I mean, getting that nice little chunk of damage off is it's just a sweet little bonus.
They don't have the IQ this time either, so no, like, premonition of where they're going to be unless they drone it out. Looks like we'll be seeing the Mira actually on Kitchen here as he puts the shield on Bakery. Looks like instead of just hard reinforcing the wall, they're going to be trying to use it for the Mira gun power and see just how much they could either kill or just stall with it that way.
Yeah, maybe get a nice little C4 out through the unreinforced wall. I always love to see that when you get a Mira in play.
And it looks like we're going to be using our drones here, trying to get some information, try to figure out how exactly they need to attack this. Now, the Capcan was 6-picked as well, so unless he got droned out, they're a little bit unaware of the nice bombs waiting for them as they enter in. Hopefully
Yeah, if you don't drone that out, you're not going to be expecting Capcan traps at all. I'm sure we're gonna, if they don't know, I'm sure we're going to see at least one get blown up here.
And later, they're going to drop down the red hatch, getting ready to start pushing up, using the drone intel from his teammates to just start pushing up really fast. Now, CORSAIR Cafe can't count out the verticality, especially from in the hands of the roamers. Going to have to drop down from the top and work their way downwards. Going to cost a lot of time, but if they're able to push this up really quick using their drone power, might be able to see Syracuse pull some, West Michigan pull off some nice magic here.
Yeah, with 1:45 seconds left in the round, they've taken all of top floor control. I think they have realized that they have the full control now. Oh, DHD comes in, swinging. Scott gets that one kill onto the Legion, and then, yeah, no more goo mines coming out for the rest of the round. So that's going to be a pretty big intel loss and also some stopping power into any late round pushes here.
Man, that's definitely the operator you want to kill first, especially in situations like that where you accidentally step on a Legion mine right there, but you know he's dead, so you're just going to pull out that pin to know where he's not his teammates. Not really expecting, getting shot from below or anything like that is some Legion stuff done.
Yeah, now with the Legion off the board, he won't be able to give any more intel from any bombs that he has left. C4 goes out, unable to get one. Does a little bit of damage onto Mr. Fizzy there. And, oh, Mr. Fizzy able to get Tick Up back. That's the Mirror gone.
The lovely ceiling pressure coming in. Drone work onto the Boozler of Capcan. Gonna be a little bit spotty here. Gonna have to move himself around a lot around that little area. Hopefully able to catch someone off guard as Thermite gonna be trying to work down red stairs and hopefully open up more toward the side of prep. Also, if he opens out the wall, it'll be pretty big too, because it'll be the Mira's Mira's black window. No longer gonna be able to hold off that angle anymore.
Yeah, and now, as we've been talking here, we've gone all the way down to 18 seconds left in the round, and this push is going to have to come out pretty quick. Boozler able to get one. Now down to a 4v3. The defenders hold tight on site. Fizzy gets one.
5 seconds left.
Valued very low on HP, gets taken out by Fizzy on the triple kill, and now it's just Boozler. And defenders end up winning. Yeah, time runs out. Push didn't come in quite fast enough.
Do you remember which one had the diffuser? Oh, the Buck had the diffuser.
Buck had the
Coming
diffuser,
in
yeah.
from our lovely observer. Ooh. And yeah, he had it, but unfortunately was upstairs with the diffuser, so he did not get the plant off, and I possibly died on the way in.
Yeah, that round, it started out really well for Western Michigan on the attack, but I think they just got caught up on, it must have been clearing that second floor, because they had the top floor all clear around 1:30 seconds, and then all of a sudden we had 15 seconds left and no one was on site, and it all kicked off.
Yeah, Kitchen, just really strong map, or strong site, just stalling teams out, because you're forced in the end to just go top down. It's just, if you ignore that top floor entirely, they could open up the hatches and use that to pressure you. They could also just jump down to the heaven area and just immediately start gunning in, and it makes things so much more stressful when you're attacked. You have to end up just doing top down entirely, and unfortunately you can see there it does take up time, and it does end up sometimes causing a lose. But you know, this game is a lovely, lovely defender-sided game.
Yep. Yeah, and we're seeing that be proven to us so far in these first 3 rounds. Now we're gonna get to see a new site though for round 4 here coming out from Syracuse. See what they can do. Opting to take the Kapkan again and the Legion, so they're preparing for some late round quick pushes, which is what we've been seeing over the past 3 rounds.
Yeah, and of course, Reading Room, the more difficult site to hold is, it's always your 3rd pick, so generally speaking, your practice on it a little bit more rusty compared to the rest. However, it is also a map where if you take down the 3rd floor immediately, you could just drop down that lovely, I can't remember what to call that. My mind keeps saying heaven, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with heaven.
Yeah, let's say heaven. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, drop down that lovely balcony there and immediately into the site of Reading Room and just attack the door straight up. Like, it makes the anchor shop a little bit, come around a little bit more sooner. And unfortunately, won't stick on camp for as long as they would like to. But it looks like Value going to try to keep things going and slow things down up here as he does bring deletion to just throw those mines across the area. Also using the power of the Kapkan mines again in order to be able to just take off some nice damage. You can hear some explosions just pulling up across the map. I believe that was the Thermite opening up the wall here. Is PhD Scott going to start working on some vertical and be able to stop any of the defenders on site to be able to play that safe. But of course, still got more defenders to go. So he's going to focus a lot more on the roam clear than he is on the vertical.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the attack is aware that they have 2 defenders they're dealing with upstairs. I know that they have intel on Valued on this Legion over here. Tick Up able to get 1 down, and now they definitely know that they're dealing with 2 defenders up here. Tick Up able to get a second one from the freezer. Might get a 3rd one through the door. Gets taken out
of ammo.
Out of freezer.
And it looks like the Value's actually still up on the board. They ended up taking 3 picks right in that quick succession. Looks like Value's going to take the 4th. Now it's just down to Bob Ross as he's just getting booed, shot from every single angle. He's all over the place here as he's just getting shot from all over the place. You see, oh my goodness, 2 defenders beneath him, just shooting straight up, and the Legion. Oh my god, I think he did get wallbanged from beneath at the very end.
Oh, he did? Yeah. Taking some shots, yeah. I mean,
cannot
I knew exactly where he was. Yeah, that is the worst case scenario if you're Bob Ross there. You really don't want to have to deal with that 1v4 at the end of the round anyways. And then you go in to getting goo mined right in the open. You have nothing you can do there except hope.
That goo mine for sure ended up just sealing his fate, because at that point, even if he wanted to pull it out, you got the lovely Jaeger and Kapkan sitting below just shooting straight up, and the Legion getting ready to, be able to optimize on when he should be able to peek out, as he has those 2 just pressuring him down, and I believe they did have the cam intel on him as well.
Yeah, exactly. They had the cam on him. They heard where the goo mine went off, and they assumed that he was just going to pull the goo mine right there. Yeah.
Oh no, can you imagine just goo mine? You've been spotted, you've been spotted, you've been spotted.
I would just, it would just be over for me. I'd probably just Alt F4 at that point. I'd be like, oh, nope, sorry guys, I can't. I gotta go.
Alright, I'll tap into the cooking video and just, find your dinner.
Yeah, mute the mic. Oh, Mom, when's dinner ready?
Looks like we'll be seeing a return onto the top floor here, as we do have a little bit change in the setup, as the mirror looking like she might be playing a little bit more aggressively inside of bar, putting the mirror there instead, as they just reinforced one of the walls, made the rotate in between. Kind of curious to see what they're able to try to plan out there, as generally speaking, that's one of those, again, one of those more important walls that you don't really want to get destroyed, so immediately putting the mirror on it, you're planning to just battle it out.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to contest this piano take a little bit more heavily than they had been. Legion throwing a goo mine out.
Nope, that's an impact.
Impact, okay. I don't know what that was about, but, to each his own.
He was trying to get that early damage. Oh, I think I see what she's doing. I think she's going for the super long angle that people tried doing, where you, put the mirror on the closer wall and the farther back wall with enough holes so that you're able to shoot through both. But, of course, since she does have the vector, not really an ACOG on that, so it's a little difficult to hold, and not only that, but you're you're peeking through 2 different mirror windows from
Yeah,
distance
that's a
apart.
very long angle. When you're trying to hold that angle, I imagine it's just a lot of shooting and hoping.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna see a decent amount of defenders who could probably stop her as the Nomad. Might be able to just throw a lovely good old air jab right in there just to distract. Got some frags from the Buck and the Sludge. And not only that, but Sophia. So she's gonna have a little bit of a whirl of time there trying to hold down that shield. As you can see here, defenders starting to play more aggressively as the attackers start to make their way inside. Boozler just gonna keep moving around of the side of the fireplace there, making sure that he's able to just get ready at moment's notice and start attacking them more aggressively.
Yeah, now we're going to see the piano room get droned out a little bit here. And Mira has actually moved up to take a more aggressive angle on this mirror window that she has set up. But there's not really a great place for her to stand with the cigar wall being left open and a bunch of walls being soft around her. So we'll see how she's able to deal with this push that's coming in right now from Western Michigan.
Yeah, you can see value there, just holding down the long angle spot, making sure that no one charges away as Mira plays inside and kind of just uses her position to distract and, burn down some of the time, because generally speaking, you see a Mira away from her windows and you think, okay, either someone else is playing the window or no one's there, and generally speaking, your mind always goes to no one's there, because who thinks Mira doesn't go to the windows?
Yeah, and while we were talking there, actually, the Doc able to pick up a kill onto Bob Ross over on the long angle across to heaven.
Oh yeah, I never see.
Yeah, there's your Nomad down. I think she was able to get all the air jabs down, but that powerful gun out of play for the rest of this round.
You can see here as well, they're just destroying around the wall, trying to ignore the shield altogether. But it looks like he will get spotted out. But C4 ended up going a little too shallow, tries to pick it up, but gets distracted and dies. Value gonna get the refrag and the kill onto Nug with the headshot. 2 attackers left on the board. That's the Buck and Azofia. Gonna have to make something work here as Buck, unfortunately, goes for a swing and a miss. And later Nerd gonna try to see if he can pull this one out of his hat, bringing in the Zofia with 2 impacts left. Takes down the Valkyrie. Now, that's just 2 left. Sorry, I think this was a 1v3.
Yeah, 2 left, 5 seconds left on the clock, no diffuser. Able to pick up the diffuser right at the last second, but that angle being held, it wasn't able to see the shoulder peeking out. Not that there would have been enough time to do anything about it, really.
Legion just waiting patiently, sees the head of the Zofia pop out, and will just immediately full peek it, getting her before she can get through the sludge hole, because unfortunately it was a crouching hole as well, making her movement through it a little bit slower.
Yeah. So a thing that we've seen hurt the attacks in these past few rounds has just been poor time management, I guess. We've been seeing some pretty quick clears initially, and then it seems like a lot of the time is spent droning areas that they already have cleared out. So by the time they go for their full push, they end up not having nearly enough time to execute it the way they want to and deal with all the traps that have been set up by Syracuse around their site, no matter what site they've picked. But if they're able to get this last attacking round and finish the half up 4-2, I would say they're in a pretty decent position, especially considering the defender-sided nature of this map.
And the last time we saw this, I ended up going down to a time up, but if you were paying attention, the attackers did end up getting themselves onto site and attacking it with the setup that the defenders had. So if they can manage to just speed that up just a little bit more, and possibly also coordinate the diffuser a little bit better there, they could most definitely be able to pull this one out of the hat and get themselves a 4-2 lead into the defending round.
Yeah, especially considering the difference in operator lineup taken by the defense. We're not going to see that cap can that they had last round, or the last time they held this site anyways. And we're going to see the Cav coming out in its place. So that should be interesting to see how that is utilized. I imagine a pretty deep roam, maybe 3rd floor.
Yeah, Cav, definitely an operator that you don't see that often. And as there's always debated whether or not she's good or not, because her pistol will automatically down somebody upon guaranteed the second shot. However, that is still them being down, and they have a little bit of invulnerability the second they go down. So sometimes you really just need a kill. It just comes out a little bit short in the end.
Yeah, especially when we're considering the more coordinated play styles of teams like this, where somebody will usually be there to refrag. But you're gonna see Boozler coming out with a shotgun inside of Cigar, but immediately gets traded out again. Like I was just talking about, how even if you may be able to get one down, you are probably gonna get retraded immediately afterwards.
Yeah, that is the
Unfortunately,
oh yeah, the disconnect from later
yeah,
nerd.
disconnect over from later.
It's unfortunate. Also, the IQ getting taken down as well. That's gonna make the Legion just start throwing those mines a lot more places and a lot more freely, knowing that he could just whip them out everywhere.
Yeah, that not being able to check around for any of these gadgets thrown down, it's gonna be tough. Oh, yeah, Bob Ross not checking down the deep heaven angle gets taken out, and later nerd able to wait. What?
Yeah, there's two later nerds. I just caught that too.
Oh, okay.
I got so confused. I'm like, wait, did he just come back from the grave?
Yeah. I think it had something to do with the disconnect there and names being.
Yeah. Unfortunate that he had disconnected, and we will be seeing the verticality starting to come in from later nerd and Mr. Fizzy, as they're just the two people left on this attack round. Gonna have to pull something nice out here as they start getting more of that verticality pressuring them down. But the defenders already know at this point, the second that they start hearing more of a horizontal push, it's going to have to be Fizzy as well coming in, because there's no way that later nerd's going to be able to take that down by himself.
Yeah, and they do have a good amount of time left in this round. And Mr. Fizzy's sat here with both of his grenades still available to him, so we might be able to see some of that.
Oh, but the diffuser was left with the guy that disconnected.
All the way at spawn.
You know what?
So
it's okay.
It's gonna have
it says
to be
Team
a kill
Deathmatch
round.
Bomb, right?
Yep, Team Deathmatch is what we're about to see here on this final push, is they're not going to be able to get that diffuser.
Cam's still alive, going to be able to give out a little information for the mirror to know when to push. It looks like they can try to C4 it. Unfortunately, with a little bit of a miss there, but the push comes in from Fizzy. Will get taken down. Later nerd gonna just swing in nicely around that corner. Unfortunately, the bandit gonna take him down from Valued. I think Valued, he's in double digits right before we ended the rehost.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well for himself. The whole of Syracuse is doing pretty well as far as taking their gunfights goes.
Oh yeah, and unfortunately for this halftime, we will be going into a rehost. Hopefully, should not be too long as And oh, actually, the nice thing about being halftime, when you enter in that round history, oh boy, you actually don't have to sit there and actually keep track of which round's which, because it's on halftime anyways. So
It
it'll
doesn't really matter.
probably a quick rehost then.
Yeah, we'll see a pretty quick rehost coming in here.
Oh yeah, and we just get this nice little op pick, and of course, unfortunately, of course, once how the rehosts always work is you always have to wait for the round to start, so it takes an extra couple seconds. Thankfully, teams usually lock in real quick just to make sure things go by fast.
Yeah,
And,
but
yeah,
I guess we can look back on that half while we're waiting for this next half to get started up. So for Western Michigan coming into their defender half down 5-1 is not ideal in any sense of that word, but it is definitely doable.
Oh
If
yeah.
they can manage to slow down or make sure, I guess we can't say slow down because we haven't seen an attack from Syracuse yet, but if we can manage to get Syracuse's attack at a manageable speed for Western Michigan on their defense, then we should be able to see at least a valiant effort put out. We're going to need to see a lot more one gunfights and set up some nice angles to hold any piano room pushes onto third floor.
Yeah, and also if you look at the scoreline, since it's 5-1, if they pick up their first two, right?
Yep.
At that point, they have to take it to reading room or mining, but either or. If they need to end up taking that to be able to get themselves a possibility of winning still, because if they actually drop that, it'll put that into 6 points for Syracuse and allow Syracuse to just be like just that one away from being able to take it all the way. And at the best case scenario, at that point, they're aiming for a tie. So
Yeah.
if they want to actually still secure the win for themselves, they're gonna have to go flawless for all 6 rounds in a row now.
Yeah. If you're, as Western Michigan, you're really looking to pull something special out on those offsites. Hopefully they've had something prepared for whether they take reading or mining. We'll see. I would imagine reading, which is what teams have been leaning towards for the most part.
Yeah, reading it for sure is just a site that it's a little bit easier to hold, as if you just use like some of the horizontal walls to open up. You could kind of be able to watch your fireplace, but not only that, but there's a lot more cover within the site itself. Whereas if you're playing on mining, you can't really sit on the site and you have to sit inside trains. And then, of course, trains, you have limited vision of what's actually going on. Verticality starts coming in, and then you're at that point just sandwiched in a terrible spot. At least with reading, it allows yourself to rotate a little bit more freely if you're playing around the site. And of course, verticality just a little bit less annoying to deal with.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see a big roam hold up on third floor, I'd imagine, to hold that reading room. Just because, yeah, like you said, the verticality is can become a pain to deal with if you don't at least delay the attack for a good amount of the round. If you're dealing with vertical play from the attack within the first minute and a half of the round, it's not looking great for you as the defense. Your anchor is going to have to deal with a lot more than they would want to, and having to hold those extra angles is going to be a problem for them. And I'm sure they will not enjoy or be very happy with their roamers if they have to deal with that.
Yeah, for sure. Not only that, but it's definitely gonna be still very doable for Western Michigan. Just need nothing but perfection, of course.
Yeah, very
But you know
doable.
what?
Just have to be perfect.
If any single map you're gonna be go perfect on, it's this map in particular.
Yeah.
Especially with defense, everything is just, as you see throughout, just time delays, time like slowing people down and stuff like that. Really, really makes things a lot more stressful onto the attackers. And this is definitely the map where you could go perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how again, this all hinges on Western Michigan's ability to hold that third site and the off site like we've been talking about, the one that teams aren't super comfortable going to usually. But so far this season, Western Michigan has played on Cafe twice, and this is the first showing from Syracuse. So while Western Michigan might be a little bit more practiced, as we've seen, there isn't much VOD of Syracuse for them to prepare for this map. So these attack strategies from Syracuse could be something that Western Michigan is not prepared to deal with.
Yeah, looking a little bit of a precursor for the future. Once this map is over, we will be going to coastline for Syracuse's pick as well, and they will be the ones attacking off the bat. So honestly speaking, in my opinion, I would actually take that over having to defend first on coastline, as coastline is definitely a map you could definitely turn into a very attacker sided map with the right play. So if Syracuse manages to close this one out, they're looking pretty, in my opinion, pretty decent for the next map.
Yeah, Coastline is one of those maps where you can very quickly turn it into a match that's entirely centered around gunfights as opposed to objective play. So whatever team is on top of their gunfights throughout Coastline will most likely end up taking that map, depending on how the defense adapts to how aggressive the attack is being.
Yeah, I'm also kind of curious to see if they end up, whichever team's on defense, if they end up winning the first two defense rounds, are they we going to see a nice penthouse, or are we going to see the lovely blue bar? Because honestly, I'm a fan of watching blue bar holds. Is there's always like a lot of planning and creativity around it, as main lobby just becomes much more important because you cannot hold that blue bar from standing inside. That is just suicide.
Yeah, no, you can't really have many anchors or any at all on that blue bar hold. You need to take some serious roam presence around Coastline if you're trying to hold that map or that site rather.
Yeah, definitely should be a fun match to watch indeed.
Yeah.
Is still just waiting on Western Michigan to join the lobby, as I think that one of them may have to restart their whole entire computer. Really unfortunate situation. But what do you got? It. What can you do?
Yeah, nothing you can do now.
Just gotta hold on to
Just
that
gotta accept
SSD
it.
or M.2 and pray to God it goes on the turbo speed.
Yep, exactly.
While we have the chance, may as well go ahead to thank our sponsors, the lovely Corsair, bringing in some of peripherals into our prize pool for both invite and open alike, allowing us to be able to spice it up a little bit. And of course, those peripherals are always the greatest of qualities. I'm using one of their mice right now, and it's probably my favorite mouse that I've ever used in my entire life. Not
Oh
only
yeah, I
that, but
love Corsair products. Oof.
yeah,
I've
they make
used Corsair
really stuff.
keyboards, mice. They if you say anything about Corsair, their products are built to last. I've every single peripheral from them that I've ever had. It still works to this day, no matter how long ago
Oh yeah,
I ended up purchasing it.
and of course, other lovely sponsors. What's new? Bringing in our merch line that will come up later inside of the month, I believe. Actually, yeah, hopefully. As the fingers crossed, we will be able to see some merch by the end of the month. I cannot wait, as some of those clothes look really nice. Probably will pick one up for myself. And last but not least, Rogue Energy, keeping us nice and energized and awake for this cast. As of course, rehost times take a little bit
No,
long
yeah,
sometimes,
boy, do
especially
I need it.
because you can never really predict what the problem is and how long they'll take. But fortunately, it looks like we have everyone back in the lobby, so we will be heading in soon back into cafe as soon as everyone gets themselves ready and going.
Yeah, I'm glad to be getting back in this map, getting some more action going on in this second half, and see if Western Michigan can make some changes to their play style and start winning some gunfights.
Oh yeah, and here we go back into the great cafe as Syracuse needs to start their attack here. It's gonna be a little bit of an interesting one as the side swap comes in. Definitely at this point, Syracuse is gonna want to take an early lead to give themselves that momentum. And looks like we had a little bit hiccup with the bans, but as long as people remember what is banned, things will be fine. As
Yeah, we're gonna assume the teams will play fair here and make sure
yeah,
they will.
I do know off the top of my head it was Thatcher. There
Thatcher,
was
Monty, Echo, and Maestro were the bands.
yeah. So
Yep.
thankfully, teams always make sure to not pick band operators. Don't have to put us through the good old next rehost.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Yeah, because even they want to play too. They just want to
Yeah.
go in and gun.
Yeah,
They know themselves it's banned. They're
everybody's
not
here
really
trying to
planning
get in
around
and go
it.
home. Yeah.
And of course, gonna actually see the sixth pick off of the pulse into the yellow. Gonna be taking in those nice concussion mines to be able to play a lot more shorter range gunfights. Ella, definitely a monster to fight in any close range situation.
Yeah, Ella, definitely not an operator that you want to find yourself matched up against in a head-to-head gunfight, especially close quarters.
Yeah, like 1 ADS in her position, like maybe minimum 1 ADS in her position, and she's almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
So gonna have 2 ADSs at the bottom of red there. Wonder if we're gonna see a little bit more of aggressive play around there, or are they just anticipating a lot of grenades coming in from that direction in general?
I imagine we might see the Ella playing around cigar room there, maybe behind the cigar case. I don't know what I'm going to call that little glass desk in the corner. With the
It'll be a little bit
bear.
interesting because it's kind of I want to say a little bit of a risky spot, as if if you're trying to rotate out, you end up walking toward that doorway, which is visible from skylight. Not only that, but if someone drops onto the other hatch, you're now visible from that area as well. Of course, that's if nobody peeks you from the other side of the area. So a little bit scary to play, but you know what? If anyone can pull it off, it's definitely an Ella.
Oh, yeah.
And not only that, but it's also being played by PhD Scott, so he's going to use that nice PhD to get himself the big brain plays out of that area.
Oh, yeah. I see some 400 IQ Ella plays. Maybe some wall bangs. That'd be nice.
Ah, yes. He will see all.
He will see all.
Of course, we're going to have the attacker starting to just drone up. And, looks like we're going to have to double drone. Prepped from the Nomad. Knows immediately that, the first drone goes down. We see the second one going? Oh, no, unfortunate. I really wanted to see that quick
I don't. That would be really unfortunate if we just saw her jump 2 of her drones to their death immediately.
I mean, I feel like the second one would probably go more closer toward the door, and they get hit by that one. Yeah.
They just land on top of each other, just dying. No, brother, please.
Like, don't go without me.
Don't go. So, we're gonna see a quick clear from Syracuse down on the second floor. Gonna make sure they don't have any pesky roamers with some C4s that they would have to
Yeah,
deal with later in the round.
it looks like sorry, West Michigan. Or is it Michigan? Yeah, no, it's Syracuse. Syracuse. No, I got it right the first time. Oh my goodness, West Michigan gonna be opting to just hold entirely horizontal, not really focus on anyone below, and allowed the Valued and the Zofia being played by Boozler to just take full control and use that area, as you can see here, already setting up some rotates for themselves if they need to just rotate between the two staircase. PhD Scott pulling out the doctorate and taking down Tick Up right there as he drops immediately into Ella's arms. And Boozler gonna catch him as he comes up the stairs. Wasn't expecting that apparently, and just got the full bamboozle going.
Yeah, that was great play from Boozler on red stairs to be able to trade that out so quickly. You know, we're going to see the Twitch drone able to come in and clear up any of that extra push stopping utility that we have that was thrown out from the L and the Legion.
And if there's anyone to take out someone with a big PhD, is definitely the Boozler, as he will always bamboozle everyone.
Oh yeah, don't want to get boozled.
As Flaccid will take down Bob Ross, 69. Mr. Fizzy taking down Boozler. And Nug, 30, taking down Value. Now we're just down to a 2v3. A little bit of a bad situation as the Twitch was down, but we'll manage to pick him up. Peter Nerd just playing inside of the lovely Skylight area with that Jaeger just being able to shoot really well. That's another situation where Nomad is in a really bad spot being circled in. Mr. Fizzy will take him down with a headshot in West Michigan, taking down the first site.
Yeah, just too many angles to worry about there for Tyrese. Unfortunate, drops down the hatch, gets gooed and Ellid at the same time, and it's now they know that you're there, and there's nothing you can do about that. The 3v1 push.
And now we'll be seeing a nice kitchen hold as the defenders will be opting to also bring a Castle here as well. Castle definitely an operator that could definitely slow things down for the attackers and make their rotates just a little bit more time consuming. Really interesting to see how they've set up.
He's been an operator that's come back into the limelight a little bit as of recently, primarily to combat what a lot of these teams are doing on attack, which is just to try to get a fast push into sight, win some quick gunfights, and then maybe get a defuse plant down. But having that castle there will put a stop to that, at least delay it enough so that the defenders can work around and maybe readjust their positioning.
It definitely also punishes any operators without soft reach, as you know, you can't get around that wall. You're gonna have to sit there and play it through. But fortunately for Syracuse here, we're gonna be having not one, not two, but potentially actually 4 soft reach. I think only 3 of them though will be able to get rid of those walls, as the buck grenades, sledgehammer, and the lovely Zofia lifeline will be able to dispense them quickly. And of course, the 4th soft reach of the Jaeger with the Jackal with the shotgun.
Sidearm.
Fortunately, not strong enough to take down a castle, but still strong enough to take down the floors.
Yeah, and that's going to be pretty important for this attack here, I would imagine, trying to clear out that floor and even 3rd floor roamers.
Oh, yeah, I'm expecting to see the entire floor, just nothing but iron bars.
I hope so. You love to see that if you're on the attack anyways. Defense,
actually, I would say you love to see that as defense in that situation, just because, you know, any point you aim up, you could definitely see everything now.
True.
Oh, looks like Sledge is going to go for the early hammer, just getting rid of that immediately, making sure it's not a problem for anyone else later on. Jackal going to take down the hatches with his shotgun, flexing that he definitely has a soft breach too. Last going to be droning out inside of Bakery, trying to see if any of the defenders are playing on it, letting his team know just how much trouble they're going to be in as they try to take Bakery. Looks like they will spot a later nerd, and of course later nerd in the prime position to just hold and stall for so much time. Gonna keep it out as Boozler now gonna send out his drone. Probably see if anyone's playing where the castle's playing, and you know, try to figure out if they can do a nice push in from the window or if they're just gonna have to struggle that a little bit more.
Yeah, this is interesting. The defense from Western Michigan, they've opted to hold entirely just the 1st floor here and not put any roamers on the 2nd or 3rd floor, and we'll see how long it takes Syracuse to realize this, because if they can realize this pretty quickly, then we won't have to see them be wasting any time clearing out 2nd and 3rd floor. And with 1.5 minutes left in the round, they are going to have to make their way down pretty soon anyways.
Oh yeah, and you can see Tick Up starting to Shotgun open. It looks like setting up for some long angles from below. As Fizzy will take down the Boozler 2 times now. He's managed to take down the Boozler. And Valued. Gonna be starting to smash up the top here, make sure that there is no lovely wood left on the flooring. As the Thermite's still waiting for his team to be able to work up that top floor and to help him kind of flood out where the Jaeger and the castle is, but still, you know, keeping himself there just in case they rotate out. Might be able to get a pick out of that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Syracuse has been able to get much intel down onto the first floor.
Ooh, shots going from the good old later nerd into Placid here, as he has to put a little bit of pressure as he hears that barbed wire get opened up, and use it as bait. Fortunately, will not get a shot into each other, and it looks like Valued will take down Bob Ross from above by using his verticality. Gonna start grenading at that wall area, making sure getting rid of any single technology. Using that wall actually to see if he can wallbang the Jaeger out, putting a little bit of pressure on him as well. And it looks like he will get taken down for Valued from above, using that verticality to get the right angle to just take him down. Really well played from Valued there. Is he taking down Obese Tyrese? Scott using that PhD takedown value, and now we'll just see Nug down this door for his life. There's 2 seconds left on the clock, just needs to stall out. We'll take down the person with the diffuser in West Michigan, winning this one on time.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where the attack fell apart there. I think it was maybe just a little bit disjointed. But otherwise, it seemed like the attack was going fairly well up until the end there. Just they kind of lost a few gunfights off of site and then weren't able to adapt.
Oh yeah, and I think that verticality ended up just paying off too, because that Jaeger in that position was doing really well at just stalling out for so much time. And as you can see, like, definitely once that sludge took him down from value, it just ended up changing things a lot more into the favor of Syracuse, allowing them to push in a lot more aggressively and play in it, you know, to be able to take sight. But unfortunately, you know, just ran out of time, just couldn't get the defuse down, unfortunately.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Yeah, they just lost a couple of those gunfights where they were running into sight. They didn't foresee some angles, maybe didn't have enough intel on that first floor to be able to run in the way that they wanted to.
Ooh, it's gonna get a nice more top floor heavy hold, as we do see the Goyo coming out today. Definitely an operator that is fun to see get pulled out, especially because he's so new, and you know, there's a lot of more creativity than people would ever think with that operator. Because at first glance, you know, oh, you just get 3 deployment shields with a gas canister to attach them, okay. But it actually changes quite a bit, because those gas canisters being able to explode and destroy the shield kind of allows you to put them in places that even if the enemy tries to play on the shield themselves, you could just shoot the shield and erase that threat altogether.
Yeah, it's a fairly simple operator design that allows for some very complex setups on defenses. It allows the defense to play a little bit more aggressive, and then also have the option to, when they decide to fall off an angle, to hold off any pushes from the angle they're falling off of, just so that they can make sure they get away quick enough and not end up taking any damage from a potential follow-up from the attackers.
Yeah, and it really came in at a good time for them to do something like that, as they did also the deployment shield rework, allowing those shields to be even more of a threat. Because beforehand, you see one, and it's like, okay, even if there's someone's behind, I could probably just shoot him faster than he'll recognize I'm even here. But those holes and those that sight line being able to just be open from those shields itself, it really changes things up, because now you're sitting there thinking there could be someone behind this, and if you do look through a little bit from the attacker side, you will be able to see if anyone's behind it or not. But you're still thinking on the back of your head, I could be wrong and they could be on their side.
Yeah, those deployable shields have given a strong positional advantage to any defenders that are playing behind them. See a really big push up into piano from Syracuse, allocating all of their operators over to clearing out this top floor, kind of systematically making their way forward and clearing out any of their potential roamers up on the third floor.
And who else to use that Goyo shield down that hallway other than PhD Scott himself, using that big IQ in order to understand when he needs to back off and when he no longer needs to fight the fight. And as you can see here, even though he's gone from that position, he actually prompted the Zofia just start throwing out the lifelines down the hallway, kind of in this case overall wasting them since there is actually no one there left. Now by him just backing off, he actually baited out the Zofia's utility.
Yeah, that was a great play. And Boozler gets taken down, but immediately Tyrese gets one for himself. And now we're in a 4v4 scenario with the attackers finally making their way down onto the second floor. See if they can get any more picks before a final push here.
Lots are gonna get that nice little area opened up so you can just immediately run down, not have to vault over. As that vault animation could be the death of you sometimes. PhD Scott, you're gonna be playing at the bottom of white stairs here. Gonna be waiting for someone to just walk down, but it doesn't look like anyone's gonna be prompting to go that way just yet, allowing him to later on, you know, turn himself around and be able to come in from unexpectedly. As TikTok trying to walk up over in toward mining, but unfortunately Fizzy will get the headshot onto obese Tyrese. Down goes the gridlock from Tickup, and Bob Ross with another kill on the board as Flaccid gets into sight, takes down Mr. Fizzy. We'll start to push up into the hall, but turns into the arms of two defenders. West Michigan win the defense round. What happened to the diffuser?
Yeah, no time. The diffuser went down with Tyrese, I believe, or with the gridlock over inside of Train. And then, yeah, they just ran out of time, weren't able to pick it up, so had to go for some kills. And
Yeah,
didn't
really
end up
odd
down.
to see the diffuser go all the way into mining while the rest of the team seems to be more prompting to push fast onto the side of reading room. A little bit of a oopsies for the side of Syracuse.
Yeah,
And
especially after having seen Boozler drop down and get taken out from that same exact angle where Tyrese ended up going down, or I think it was Tyrese in the gridlock, but
And I just want to point out too, that was actually the reading room win for the side of West Michigan. Like we said before, this is definitely the site to be going perfect right now, as at this point they're going to be going to the more comfortable defense sites, and then have to win one more time onto the reading room. I believe the math would add up to
Yeah.
1-2. Yes.
yeah, they've
So-
completed their perfect cycle now. Now they're making their way back to their preferred site on third floor.
So things definitely in Western Michigan's hands here, as they do have the momentum going in, and it's going to be on the side of Syracuse to try to be able to repair this and try to figure out where they went wrong, and try to win this back before before West Michigan ends up taking way more rounds off of them.
Yeah, at this point, it's very, very, very important, like you were saying, for Syracuse to get out of their own heads, I guess, try to figure out how to work around this defense that Western Michigan is putting up, where they're not quite allocating as many resources to roam as Syracuse might have thought. And because of that, Syracuse is putting a lot of time trying to clear a roam that doesn't really exist, and then they find themselves with very, very little time to actually execute their real push onto the actual set at the very end.
Let's hope we've seen the diffuser going inside the thermite this time. I'm gonna try to keep track better.
Yeah, we should
By
definitely
the end of
keep
the
track.
round, it's just like things happen so quickly, and now nowhere is just no diffuse. It goes off. It's just been the theme of this entire game, and it looks like we've seen the Jackal scanning some feet from, I believe that is the Ella. Yes, it is. They will know that she's playing exactly really close, and of course, I think even without the feet being scanned,
You could
she already
see that
assumes,
one coming a little bit.
Yeah, she already assumes that they know. Obese Tyrese gonna immediately swing down the hatch, try to take her down, but Scott, just flexing his big IQ, takes him down with the headshot. And now Flaccid gonna be trying to use the Candelas to take him down as they burn down that. I think there is 2 ADSs there still. And gonna, oh yeah, oh actually, well, he got
One
stunned
of them's
because
burned,
didn't make it through all the way through the door, I believe.
Yeah, I believe one of the Candela charges was able to jump through the door and blind him for a little bit.
Yeah, they got it. They got another head of grenades as they tried throwing it down, thinking that the ADS was dead. Boozler on half health from peeking onto that window. Hugga not gonna have any of it. As Flaccid gonna take down PhD Scott, finally with the power of being.
Yeah, unfortunately, Scott was caught in the rotation off of the position that he was playing when he was trying to get back onto site, but now we're back down to that 4v4 scenario. And unfortunately, Boozer a little bit under half health here, but we'll see if he can make anything of this health.
Now Fizzy just sitting inside of the bathroom there. Definitely still soft, so it's gonna be a little bit worrisome for him. But if he does have a cam still alive in there, which I don't think he does since the IQ is in there, gonna be able to get some shots off onto the wall into any pings. Value just gonna start thermiting up every single thing to let his team in and rotate safely onto the more safe areas of the site. Mr. Fizzy opting to stay put and wait for an opportune moment to flank.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Syracuse is really aware of the fact that these bathroom walls are soft. I guess they kind of just assume that they'd be reinforced. And yeah, Fizzy
There
able
it
to get
is.
one from that angle.
And at this point, he's gonna just back up into bathroom unsuspected. Shots gonna be going back and forth between, I believe that would be the Bob Ross and one of the defenders. Fortunately, only Boozler taking down some of the health. And ooh, looks like later Nerd gonna get take down Boozler finally, and another kill going in for the Mr. Fizzy.
Yep, Fizzy was able to take down that defuse.
Did he just
And
get to the other side of the
runs
wall,
in.
go prone, pull out a Desert Eagle?
Little deagle kill from the prone behind the dish rack there.
Yeah, he was really feeling it, you know?
Yeah.
Not every day you see a Valkyrie put herself from a situation where she was before in that bathroom, peeking out into the piano room, into just, you know what, let's just go prone right here and just pull out the deagle, and it's okay, I got this. I got aim. I play
Yeah.
Cisco.
That was pretty crazy, the impact that Fizzy was able to have on the Valkyrie inside a bathroom with those walls unreinforced. And honestly, the fact that they were unreinforced didn't even play into his benefit. It just, Syracuse didn't end up capitalizing on the fact that they were soft walls. They just kind of let them be and weren't able to find out that Fizzy was even playing there at all until it was too late.
Yeah. And now at this point too, Syracuse is no longer able to drop a single round
Attackers
at this
need to
point if they
locate
wanted to
and
win it
defuse
all.
bombs.
Because if they
Yeah.
lose another round, it will allow Michigan to get the opportunity to win it themselves, or at the very least,
Yeah,
end on a
secure that tie.
And with Syracuse for sure, especially with that lead that they started off with, wants to be able to just seal it out right here and not have to attack onto Cafe no longer. So this is definitely going to be a little bit stressful for them. As you know, the time to get intel of how they play and try to figure out their setups kind of gone. At this point, they need to close it out based off the information they know.
Yeah,
5 seconds to go.
hopefully they're able to focus more of their resources on
Bomb.
locating and pushing defenders out of the positions that they're playing on this site. This last time we saw them attack this first floor site, we noticed a lot of the attacking resources were allocated to clearing non-existent roamers on the third and second floor, which is
Yeah.
a pretty good idea if you don't know what the setup is, but now having played against it once, like we're seeing them do right now, they're going to be allocating a lot more of those resources down towards the first floor and not really worrying about any roamers upstairs.
You can see here they're just focusing entirely on later Nerd, using their utility to try to flush him out immediately as they use the burn both his ADSs. Send a drone in. Bob Ross is going to pick up value as he walks in, thinking that there's no longer the castle there. Fortunately, just playing a different angle and putting himself in a safe spot using the rotation hole that he made as well. And it's also the thermite and the buck both going down. Bob Ross is pushing, peeking out and fires some shots into Placid. And later Nerd will take him down with the headshot at the end of it all. Oh my goodness. Down goes to Nomad. Now it's just down to Boozler. He's gonna have to pull a nice boozling out of this one.
Yeah, he will have to boozle them pretty hard to win this round. And we saw Jaeger get blinded by the Candelas and then Ying able to move in and pick up the diffuser a little bit, but not able to make it out in time without losing her life, unfortunately. So now the diffuser all the way on the other side of the site here for Boozler. So this is going to have to be a pretty calculated series of fights that he takes.
He's going straight aggressive into sight, trying to just get as many picks as he can, because at that point, all the defenders are going to be holding down some angles. You're not going to be able to just, if you go slow, you're running into the risk of just getting peeked from every single angle one at a time, or your flanks. So he opted, you know what, I'm going to just go in, and let's just John Wick this whole thing down. Unfortunately, no one peeking him from the areas that he was looking and took him down immediately after he entered the room.
And then Western Michigan comes in, secures the tie with a flawless round, and now going to that offsite again on Reading Fireplace, which they were able to win the last time we saw them do it, due to maybe a couple mistimed drops or diffusers being taken to the wrong place from Syracuse. But we'll see if they can make some adaptations and maybe make this attacking push work out in their favor this time.
Yeah, this is definitely their time to shine too, because it's reading room and fireplace. Again, the less comfortable defense site for each and every single player of this game, as you don't really get to play it on an L that often. So at this point, they're gonna have to really just try to bring it home here and use that advantage. I do believe last time they did lose to a split push coming in, as the diffuser went one way, they went the other way. Tried pushing heavy onto reading, did end up taking control of reading, but then because of the diffuser being on the other side, they had to force themselves in a lot more uncomfortable predicaments. Put themselves, I do remember one peeking just immediately into two of the defenders, both looking at them. So it was just super unfortunate. I feel like if they correct that mistake and just like polish it up a little bit, they can still walk away with this for sure.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely a winnable round for Syracuse. If they're like you were saying, if they're able to just control that diffuser a little bit better and get it into a place where even if it goes down, they can pick it back up and make use of it. I think that will be a defining aspect of this round.
Here we go, final round of Cafe. This is the point where we're waiting for this thing to come down to, as the defender-sided maps usually get dragged down to the wire here. And at this point, just 2 minutes 30 seconds. Let's see if you can win the whole thing.
Yeah, and for Syracuse, I mean, this is your best opportunity to get this tie, with this being the third site for Western Michigan. Maybe not their most comfortable one, but they're going to have to adjust their attack. And as we're seeing them do that right now a little bit, where they're not putting quite as many people up on that second floor. Valued able to get that first opening pick through the piano hatch in towards train room. And that's a great first pick.
Oh yeah, that's the Goyo down. That's that nice TSG that always favors anyone but us. And nice gun to get rid of. And also, a really early pick too. So it's going to throw the defenders a little bit off their game. As I do remember seeing Boozler just down here, just trying to roam around. Looks like we'll get spotted by the cam and called out immediately. It's going to have to stop, make him stop being able to push up so freely. Nug just holding down the hall, waiting for Boozler to come in. He's just going to sit there and wait for his team to be able to get some ground and be able to push in a little bit more. As I do believe they're now dropping down hatch, playing inside a fireplace, seeing if they could go for a little bit of a play here. As they're just outside of the site, and I don't think anyone's on the site itself, and there is not that many ways for the defenders to actually retake this as cleanly. Later, are going to take down the Boozler as he tries to go around. Placid actually looking like he's trying to reverse plant there. Unfortunately, dropped the diffuser in the wrong spot. Going to go back in, going in for the plant now. At this point, they're just going to keep holding down these angles, see if any of the defenders are able to hear this one out. Doesn't look like they're able to do anything about it. The plant going down. 4 defenders still left on the board here. Later are going to be trying to go for a flank, as Mozzie from the big brain of PhD Scott coming in from above, using their own holes against them, putting it down to just Tick Up. And this is not a very good look here, as Tick Up going to be able to swing onto the Valkyrie, not take her down, get called out immediately. Drop coming in from the hatch. Oh my goodness, Tick Up just gets shot down from almost every single angle. And at this point, West Michigan going to run away with this round.
Yeah, Western Michigan able to pull out a 6-0 defensive half and end up winning the game because of it. And that was very unfortunate for Syracuse on that hold there. It kind of just all fell apart with PhD Scott able to get that pick from the piano hatch. Because after they had cleared the third floor, Syracuse didn't really pay much attention to making sure that it was still cleared. And that was what ended up biting them at the end of that map there.
Like, they didn't if we're looking at their operators, they don't really have too much they can leave up there, as I don't think there's even a claymore, possibly from Twitch, but that's about it, to even set up there to make it a little bit hard for them to retake. And they ended up investing all of their attackers to go downstairs rather than leave one upstairs to keep holding the hatch angle. And I think that actually probably would have worked out a little bit better, as well, as since I do believe you can see where the diffuser was from the hatch. So a little bit of a misplay there from Syracuse ended up giving West Michigan the game. Really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's important to note that that was Western Michigan's map pick. So, kind of, even though they won it in a pretty spectacular fashion, it was kind of expected they would take that, hopefully.
No, yeah. And it looks like teams are gonna take a little bit of 5 minute potty break as they have to, Syracuse is gonna be probably trying to think about how they could change their attack strategies and whatnot. As Western Michigan definitely gonna be relieved in that really really clutch moment there from PhD Scott. We're just gonna take a little quick 5 minute break and we'll be right back with you on the coastline.
Broken alone, I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares through. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Welcome back for map 2 of West Michigan versus Syracuse. We'll be heading into Coastline here with Syracuse starting attack. And of course, I am Keldab, joined here today with Rotating Bagel.
Hey everybody, we're back to this map 2 on Coastline. Should be an interesting one.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of gunfights going back left and right here. Gonna get rid of that Monty. Make sure that we are bringing guns only into this map.
No shields allowed in this.
Unless someone
in this
decides to bring
house.
the Clash in and be sneaky. Ooh, and a nice attacker band coming in as well. But for our nice band, we'll be seeing the Thatcher being banned out again, making sure that any wells they want to open up is not free whatsoever.
You don't see much of a focus on hard breach on this map, anyways. Really, so I don't think the Thatcher ban is super important, but can't hurt to get rid of it.
And also important to note that also leaves up the Jackal. Going to be able to sniff up the roamers a lot easier, and Valkyrie going to get a ban here instead of this last time. I believe it was Maestro and Maestro and Echo getting banned out. So this is going to get rid of a lot more of those, high hidden cams around the map, especially with Valkyrie being an operator that people love to throw those cams outside and then just jump out with.
Yeah, interesting to note Mira being left available on Coastline. Not something you see too often.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of spots that you can definitely pull her out on, namely kitchen setup, where you put her right on that rotation wall, and you put the hole to the left a little bit, soft, opened up with the rotation. That way, anyone decides to peek, you could peek through that hole to the left and have a very obscured angle from the attackers on the side of service. Going to be more than definitely shown out here today, as we will be going to hookah billiards first, and PhD Scott again. The doctor bringing out the pulse and flexing that big brain, letting Fizzy taking the doctor himself.
Yeah, interesting. Makes sense that we're not going to see the mirror come out just on this site just yet. But seeing the pulse here, I don't believe we saw it in the last map.
No, so I think the last time it got 6 picks straight off, more than likely. Yeah, and this time, definitely a site that you can pull off a lot more fear out of the attackers here. Is you could kind of just, since this is a very, very rumors paradise, I like to call it, since there's a lot of areas you can rotate to, a lot of places you can run, and generally when you get pinched in this map, for the most part, is because you either kind of focus too hard on one fight and the other person comes into pinch, or you just
didn't leave when you should have.
Yeah. So it's going to give this Pulse a lot of opportunity to be able to get himself a lot more loose and around the bottom floor, be able to position himself where he needs to be near the end in order to get that last second C4 clutch out. Not only that, but kind of give out information of where the other operators are heading as well. But Tick Up, we're going to be bringing the IQ here. Going to be making sure that, you know what, if you ever pull out that scanner, I'm going to call you out, and best believe I'm going to try to shoot you through 17 walls.
And there are plenty of soft, destructible walls and floors on this map, so Pulse is not safe from this IQ.
Looks like he's going to be playing himself inside of office first. Going to be able to hear any repels coming out onto that side, and also, accordingly, pull out his scanner and be able to give out the exact information of where the attacker is. However, looks like Syracuse here going to be focusing more onto the attack of Penthouse side, giving themselves this little bit of a foothold, being going to be able to breach the VIP wall and give themselves a nice long angle all the way into billiards.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how they progress this attack, and if we're going to see them go through VIP and into try to take out that hookah wall, establish some pressure over there, maybe take out the Cool Vibes player, which is Nug on the Maestro right now. It's interesting to see this setup, and very unfortunate for PhD Scott on that Pulse not really being able to get any information from where he's positioned.
And I don't think the attackers have been really spotted out here in this side of the map either, so he's not going to be able to figure out just yet that he needs to rotate. But once that thermite wall is open, best believe that he's going to start moving himself into a different position, as you can already see himself running over to Blue Bar into kitchen, and I'll whip out that scanner again in round 2. Ooh, the IQ... shooting the silenced pistol. I don't think he's gonna get anything out of it.
Or
PhD
doesn't
Scott
get
gonna
anything.
try to throw out the C4 on the markers, but as you can see, Tick Up caused the pressure for him to not be able to sit there as long and, you know, let them know that the pulse is directly beneath us. Keep moving, guys.
It's important to note that Boozler is wasting a lot of time in pulling
Attackers
focus
recovered the bomb diffuser.
from Fizzy over onto that hookah balcony. So if this push comes out and Fizzy isn't ready for it because he's focusing on Boozler, this could be disastrous.
Oh yeah. You always need someone to take the more direct approach here as well, because once all they can really get from the failure side is that long angle, and it looks like, yep, Bob Ross gonna go down to Boozler. Gonna get bamboozled here as Fizzy gonna fire some shots into Boozler. Not gonna take him down though. Later they're gonna take down Obese Tyrese. Flaccid gonna take down Nug, and at this point now, we're just down to a nice almost 3v3, but it's a 4v3. But the health was not looking too good on the attack side, as the Doc gonna be able to heal up a lot of his defenders. But down they go. Later Nerd, last man standing.
Attackers have recovered
The
their
diffuser gonna be starting to get planted out. Will we see? Yeah, but we'll be seeing a group ping. 2 seconds left on the clock. This could be major here. He's missing the head, but he will take down one of the attackers. Not the diffuser, unfortunately. So he's gonna have to play this one out. Not in a great situation either. We'll be able to see if he does go for the clutch as he comes up the cool vibe stairs. Shots going on around the doorway and the rotation hole. Manages to get himself all the way up. Gets the pings of where they are. Takes him down as he goes for the peek on the door, but IQ just waiting patiently at this doorway, waiting for Later Nerd to leave his guard down, as he will, and down goes Later Nerd as Pickup takes him down.
That is really unfortunate for Later Nerd, having been forced down into Sunrise Bar, able to take out one floor, unfortunately not the one that he was looking for, and then ended up having to try to make that solo retake happen for him. And he wasn't able to quite make it work because of that IQ holding that great angle onto the cool vibe stairs, but he made a pretty valiant effort, able to take out the sledge, trying to rotate back into Billiard from hookah. Overall, he played that really well, just unfortunate in the situation that he was put in.
Oh yeah. And at this point here, you see a lot of kills on the side of Later Nerd, 3 for the round, and a lot of them happening at the very end. If he had just gotten the one person planting, the attackers actually would not have enough time to land that plant. That ping was major, but unfortunately they could not communicate exactly which ping was the attacker in particular clearly enough. And then in the end, as you can see,
Attackers need to
taking
locate
down one of the
and defuse
defenders, but
bombs.
unfortunately the wrong one. Sorry, the attackers, but unfortunately the wrong one.
Yeah. It's interesting for the side of Western Michigan. They're entering a lot of gunfights and doing a lot of damage, but just not able to close them out. And I think that really hurt them on this last round, because if you looked at the scoreboard, there were a lot of Syracuse players that were left alive with much less than half HP. So if they were able to finish off those gunfights in the first place, we would have been looking at a much different result.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I remember seeing like these 2 people 1 HP. I actually thought one of them was dead, but I see that little ticker just blinking red repeatedly.
Yeah, I think it was Boozler outside. It was real low after
Attackers recovered
Oh, yeah.
taking some interactions in towards that hookah site.
So we're going to see the whole team spawn together at the front door, looking to make a lot quicker of a push here, as I do know the site is brought right back up there again. They kind of got to get a nice glimpse of how they set up, and they're just going to, at this point, drone out, see the differences as Later Nerd going to get spotted out, playing inside Penthouse, going to have to back up in the leader. He's going to have that ADS, however, to kind of cover him. As you can see here, immediately just gone from the situation, trying to avoid getting himself kind of pinched here, and playing him in a lot more areas where he can at least get himself an exit. Not making sure he's not going to get cornered whatsoever. As it looks like the drop comes in from Obese Tyrese, but he will hear it, and Later Nerd will take him down with the headshot. Flaccid going to be working out that VIP door now as well.
Yeah, the long angle from Later, even after being spotted out by that drone. Fizzy gets one for himself, and now just like that, the 2 opening picks go towards the side of Western Michigan on this defense.
Yeah, Fizzy going to use his ability to disguise himself with the drone, but take it off immediately after too, as he fires a gunshot, waiting the IQ from seeing him, but like Value just saw and took down Later Nerd with the headshot. Now Fizzy just going to be playing a little bit more reserve. Lost his roaming buddy. Going to use the cam to be able to watch one side as he aims at the other. And doesn't look like any shots are going to connect onto both of the both the assailants there. Gonna run down the hall and get right back into sight and play aggressive or play more defensively now, as he does have a minute 20 seconds left on the clock, and not a pretty good amount of attackers dead in the situation. I would say the Roamers did a pretty good job here.
Yeah, the Roamers definitely did their job. They took 2 lives and a lot of time off the clock and gathered plenty of intel for this defense moving forward to try to deal with this push.
I think Fizzy's actually dropped down the hatch too, and is gonna go for round 2 as he comes up from below. Gonna be interesting to see here what he's gonna be able to pull off, and if this Nomad's gonna be able to cut him off and be able to do it, as Nug is gonna go down to the Nomad himself. Boozler gonna take him down to the drone hole using that sharp angle, punishing him for playing in that positioning and teaching him not to be there ever again.
And now we're going to see Tick Up move on this IQ with the diffuser towards Aquarium side and try to switch up this push while the rest of his team is moving from over onto VIP towards the other side of the site here.
A
And
bomb
Valued
has been located.
coming in with that nice value support, gonna be able to tell him exactly that no one's inside of Aquarium. He could push up and take that land, as the defenders, unknowing, gonna be able to hear the barbed wire breaking inside Aquarium. But will any of them be able to take down Tick Up before he manages to push with the diffuser?
10 seconds
And the
remaining.
sledge of Value coming up from behind as well. Push comes in, down he goes from Bob Ross with the headshot. Value gonna get the frag, but he has a goo in his leg, and he has to put down the diffuser. He has no time. Actually, he might have.
You are out of time.
I think he might have had time.
He got a lot
That
of
was a
bullets
very
off.
important situation, though. Coming
Yeah.
in right at the last second, having to pull the goo mine out of your foot. And the last one alive, got to get the plant down.
I think in that situation, yeah, he was just betting that he didn't have any time and was just praying to God he could immediately flick up, shoot him either through a wall or exactly where the crosshair was. Unfortunately, Vigil just playing passive behind a more sturdy wall. And
Yeah,
even
Fizzy
if
played that pretty well for himself at the end there, not overextending himself, not letting Valued get into a position where he could have won a gunfight and ended up winning the round for them.
you see the scoreboard coming again. Of course, frag heavy map, so a lot of kills until later with the rest of the defenders. Just more so giving him support. Like, I believe Nug is on the cams about 24/7, giving him information of where he can run out to and just how safe his escapes are. So definitely shouldn't count him out, even though it may seem that he's not doing too much this game. And he's going to be going into the second site of Kitchen here with a score of 1-1.
And that double roam presence from Western Michigan upstairs with the Jaeger and the Vigil was incredibly impactful in that last round. I'm sure we'll be able to see a little bit more from them on this site, especially maybe playing up in towards Hookah and VIP, that area, try to stop any pushes from that side of the map.
Yeah, for sure. Like, the positions that both of these two have been playing in have been complementing each other well.
10 seconds
Where,
left.
like, last round, you had the Jaeger of Later Nerd playing inside a theater area, and
5
Fizzy
seconds
just
remaining.
sitting inside a VIP while the window was still up. That way,
Attackers
if
are
anyone
heading
tries
out
to
to
push
defuse the
into
bomb.
the bathroom, Later Nerd will take him down. And if anyone tries to push into the VIP door or guitar door as the Thermite did, he'll just get taken down immediately as well. Really, really good roam play from both of these two, and just been really showing up this game.
Yeah, like you touched on, the fact that not only are they individually roaming well, they're roaming together as a team in a very effective manner, and that is imperative for a roam, especially on a map as small as Coastline is.
And people always say, ranked and competitive, two very different things, and they were very, for sure, right. Because when you play ranked, of course, you could try to, working as a team a little bit, but you always have that little bit of
The attacker's bomb
loss
diffuser
of
has been dropped.
synergy there. Whereas a team, you are a unit. You have to play like a unit, and if you, kind of leave one man to go alone, generally speaking, they're going to end up getting taken down quite easily. It changes the entire meta. It's always a lot of fun to play games like in this type of setting.
Yeah, competitive setting, you notice a lot more trust is placed into each of the players, and so that allows them to make riskier moves that they know will be able to pay off. And even if they don't, they'll be able to get refragged here.
Mr. Fizzy also showing some risky moves here as he's staying inside of VIP, trying to pressure the window as Feeder Jaeger just making sure no one tries to attack him from dropping down all the way there, using that long little pixel angle as well. really deadly as Value going to make his way inside. And start firing some shots into the area of where the Vigil was playing. But it looks like Mr. Fizzy did manage to get out. And he's actually just going to play the exact same drone hole that took down Nug. Ooh, some shots going in immediately as he enters into the window. Really good timing there on those shots. Not too sure where they actually came from. But it looks like Later Nerd will take down Valued right there. And there's the sledge gun. That's the verticality gone from the attackers now. At this point, they're just going to have to try to clear out any roamers they can and immediately just push into sight.
Yeah, with only 50 seconds left, the patience being displayed from Fizzy and Later upstairs on those roams was a big problem for Syracuse to deal with. Tick Up, as I say that, gets one for himself. Takes a lot of damage in the process, but there goes the Vigil of Fizzy.
And at this point, too, Roamer is just making such an impact. Even though Fizzy is taken down, he's been taken down at 30 seconds left. Took down all the health off of Tick Up. Not only that, but look at this now. The Force just pushed into sight a little bit, more aggressively as they don't have too much option here. Ooh, my goodness. The Nomad Jabber just knocked him back as he goes to the peak with the shotgun, but also knocked back the Thermite who was planting, distracting him for a little bit. And then, unfortunately, the Thermite able to react quicker. Kills go left and right down to Tick Up there with the Jackal and gets taken down to a goo mine. Defenders will win that.
There just wasn't enough time for Tick Up to take out that goo mine. He had to just hope for a risky peek from Later and maybe win that gunfight with, I guess, just one bullet was the only plan that would have worked out for him there. That round ended in a storm of action with the diffuser trying to go down. Gets peaked by the smoke of PhD, but the Nomad air jab ends up pushing them both away from their intended action, and that was crazy.
Like, I actually would have put my money on the Nuke getting the shot there because he had the shotgun, I think it was the smoke. Either way, the shotgun just really deadly at that type of range, but Flaccid just pulled it out and immediately just took him down. That sounded terrible.
Yeah, the air jab there was perfectly placed. You can't ask for a better assistance from your Nomad there on that plant. Unfortunately, weren't able to win those very ending gunfights, and the round ended up going the way of the defenders there. But that was a valiant effort from the attack of Syracuse.
Huh. So we're seeing a nice blue bar defense, my favorite. But
Love
okay,
these.
Looks like is he gonna stop this reinforcement? Please don't, because that will make things a lot harder for you, sir. As
you gotta
looks like
leave
he's
those
gonna
well
get off of it. Because trying to reinforce those, you're kind of just making it almost impossible to retake back blue bar once it's taken.
Yeah, I guess if you want to reinforce those and just take that huge gamble on never having to retake blue bar, but
they're also not opting to shoot out the flooring. It's also going to be a little bit of a factor of trying to be able to prevent the attackers of doing anything inside. Even though they will have a little bit of a retake factor with the impact grenade onto it, it's going to be a little bit difficult just to be able to try to prevent anything from happening before it actually starts getting going. That's the one thing what those floor holes could make. But we'll see if they're able to pull it out regardless, and possibly even, pulse. Oh no, okay, never mind. The smoke got in there and immediately just dished it out right before. They won't get it from above. Really dangerous, but you know what? It's okay. Dr. Scott's on the job.
Yeah, interesting that we're not going to see any second floor roam presence from Western Michigan here. Both Later Nerd and Mr. Fizzy opting to stay down on this first floor and try to take out any of the horizontal entry, or maybe on the other side towards the main Lambo entrance.
Definitely, because the only verticality that really comes into this map is Hookah, but because it's just a direct entrance into, from the outside, it becomes a little bit more difficult to hold. So it looks like they're just gonna kind of sacrifice from the get-go. Also reinforcing that hatch, which allows the Value to be able to just smash it immediately. And it looks like they're just gonna start getting to work as Later Nerd and Fizzy still opting to play more around this side. Gonna hear the drone coming in and know that stuff's gonna happen. Fizzy gonna take down Value. That's a sledge gun. That's the probably best C4 you can get in that situation. And Flaccid just use the thermite charge on the ground.
Yeah, that was a great information from Fizzy to know where to place that C4. Not sure, they must have a cam up there or something. Maybe just heard some footsteps walking around, but that was the best possible scenario for you to get a kill with that C4.
At this point here, you can hear it too. No more smashes going onto the ground. That's the verticality gone. They may have some other utility they could use to make it, but they're not going to be able to get... it's a little bit risky, and they need to still be able to take site with that utility as well. So they're going to opt to save it into letting them to take site a little bit more. So if you're going to walk down and get taken down by the PhD Scott with that headshot onto obese Tyrese.
Yeah, Tyrese trying to clear out that main entrance, but not realizing that there were 2 defenders playing down there and not just the one from later. Bob Ross takes out a 3rd on the round for his team, and then Boozler able to take out 1 back for himself, and now we're in the 2v4.
Yeah, and you see Tickup walking into Blue Bar now that Nomad has control of Blue Bar, allowing himself to plant here. That's what I'm talking about. Without anyone playing inside Blue Bar, there's something to stop you from doing stuff like this here. You're going to be having Nomad running down the hall, going to take down one but not the other, as Bob Ross going to just yeet that C4 out there and take down the diffuser. And at this point, they're playing the, no, you defuse it. No, you defuse it.
No, you do it.
Nah, you won that game there. You take the defuse.
Yeah, you get this. You get the points.
It looks like Bob Ross gonna stick the defuse here, giving them the round. That's
for a second there, I was kind of convinced that we were gonna see an attack win there. Even though the attack was on the back foot from the very beginning, losing a couple of those opening picks, they ended up getting some momentum rolling towards the end of that round, specifically Boozler on the Nomad. But unfortunately, yeah, they just weren't able to clean up those last 2 defenders and get the round win down for themselves.
A little bit of interesting decision making too, as you can see Sludge opening up the above of Blue Bar. Even though, I mean, we know this in the back, but no one's really playing inside Blue Bar since it's so suicidal to stand in at that point. So they ended up not really getting too much off of the verticality they ended up making onto Blue Bar, and then ended up trying to just take the fight into Blue Bar itself, and take Boozler ended up winning big, taking down the Mozzie, allowing his team to be able to plant inside behind that bar area freely without having to worry about the main lobby push. Unfortunately, Boozler just couldn't win it out in that series of gunfights going on in the halls and got taken down, and at that point just it left the planter in a very scary situation.
Yeah, especially with the C4 still left on the board. Planting behind that Blue Bar without having cleared out any of Sunrise really puts you in a situation where you're just kind of hoping they have to miss the C4 for you to be able to make it out of there alive.
That's what I'm playing on too. That was a perfect rotation for a perfect cycle coming in from West Michigan.
10 seconds remaining.
By winning that Blue Bar defense, they actually did win themselves all 3 sites in a row. So at this point, even though they did lose once onto Hookah, they are feeling very confident now that they've made their adjustments, and we'll see just how much they keep deciding to adapt to the attack of Syracuse as they start pushing up now, making sure they don't get spawn peek from the front as they all spawn there.
Yeah, what Syracuse is going to have to do for this push is put a lot of their resources towards clearing out the roamers from Western Michigan, again, Later and Mr. Fizzy. Those 2 were able to put a lot of pressure in. Yeah, Fizzy gets 1. That opening pick.
Fizzy and Later Nerd definitely pulling out a lot of pressure on this roam game here, just stopping the attackers from getting in any decent time, and also taking out big picks off too, as that's the thermite down. There's no longer the fear of having to worry about the VIP wall open. Mr. Fizzy gonna aim at this little bullet hole here, will get spotted out, and Value just gonna shoot it immediately, getting the headshot. Now Later Nerd's all alone. Drone's gonna be coming out all around him. Oh, actually no, that's a Mozzie drone coming in from the big brain of PhD Scott.
Wow, yeah, you don't typically see somebody with holding such a good angle lose that gunfight, but Valued had the knowledge of where that peak was going to come from and just ended up pre-firing it and getting those few bullets down right into Mr. Fizzy's head, and now right back into a 4v4, and with Later Nerd having to reevaluate his scenario as far as where he's going to be positioned for this roam.
Oh yeah, and you can see Later Nerd just as he's running out there, he's actually stopping himself getting pinched, but will take down Value to the cost of a lot of his health. But that is the sledge down. Another pretty good pick in this situation, as Obese Tyrese gonna hopefully see if he can take him down finally at the very end of this all. As Tickup gonna be playing a lot of pressure on the window here with the Zofia. Bob Ross gonna be trying to peek that small angle, see if he can get the head as he peeks out a little too far. Since actually, yeah, Tickup actually does have the diffuser, so he's at some point gonna have to swing in from that window or rotate. And there's 15 seconds left on the clock. He's gonna need to seem to start pushing up more. And Obese Tyrese is gonna finally take down later at the cost of a little bit of health here. Oh, Bob Ross just gonna be sticking down in this aqua area. And hopefully, we'll use the goose to get stopped Obese Tyrese from being able to push up as fast and stall him out entirely as they start throwing out some utility toward him.
Yeah, and it's important that Tyrese takes out Tickup on, or Bob Ross on this Legion, so that Tickup actually is able to get in towards this billiards window. Unfortunately, it loses the fight to Bob Ross, and now Tickup is going to have to reevaluate the situation and move that diffuser somewhere else.
Bob Ross trying to show us that the anchors are definitely putting in work too, as he's taking down so many of the attackers from that position, forcing them to have to rotate all the way to Hookah at 6 seconds left, and one of them gets taken down. Diffuser's outside, 2 seconds left on the clock, he's not getting to it. Bob Ross ends up stalling so much time in that aqua. Really made a big difference in this round in particular.
Yeah, Bob Ross really ended up being the defining point in that round. Able to get some kills, and not only that, but slow down that diffuse push into Hookah, and made it so that Syracuse wasn't able to get the diffuser onto the site at all with those last 5 seconds left. No opportunity for a plant, and then just gets taken down.
Yeah, for sure. Bob Ross just painted himself a masterpiece in that room with all the goo mines going left and right, giving them information of where to look next. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little scared for a moment because you can see the Zofia trying to like pre-fire where Bob Ross would have to like wide swing out so that he's kind of stuck there. But if you actually look kind of carefully too, he's shooting exactly where the Jackal would have to peek immediately as well. So it could have been a very scary TK type of situation there.
Yeah, it's not a great angle to be able to pinch because, yeah, like you said, you have to, for one person to swing, they have to move through the exact angle that the other person is pre-firing. So even if you know that, in this case, Bob Ross was playing there, it's really very difficult to get him out of that position without sacrificing at least one of you.
Yeah, crossfire is a very, very dangerous thing, and definitely something to be mindful, especially in an environment where you have to play so much based off your team. Really trust them in that situation. Really scary to put yourself in that
crossfires go both ways.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
10 seconds left.
At this point, we're gonna be seeing the roam again from Mr. Fizzy and Later Nerd up here again for the
5
third
seconds
time.
to go.
Now, last round you can see a little bit of adaptation with Mr. Fizzy's
Attack
play of
objective
VIP,
to locate a bomb and
as
defuse it.
he did just start, he put a bullet hole or a melee hole at the bottom of the wall, and that allowed Value to just get the immediate shot onto it. So I'm kind of curious to see if, at this point Syracuse know it's coming and what adjustments they're going to make to try to stop it.
It doesn't seem like any of the adjustments Syracuse has made to try to clear out this roam have really worked out super well for them. Even if
Sure.
they're not losing as many people to these two roamers, they're not exactly dealing with them any more efficiently. They're still losing a lot of time and having to think about where they are a lot more than they want to be.
And Mr. Fizzy too, like even last round, just immediately took down the Thermite off of the VIP window the second he went to go melee it. Like he's definitely, they know for sure he's going to be playing aggressively. He's banging a lot of picks doing stuff like that. And we're going to be able to see the head, and down goes Value. That's a sludge gone. That's almost, yeah, pretty much almost all the verticality gone. It's only up to Tickup to be able to destroy those fours nice and consistently, as he looks like he's gonna be dropping down the luggage area as well, right onto the balcony, and gonna be able to try to push the wall or the hull up, as you're gonna have the information peeking the wall. Immediately takes his head off the second he peeks around, but it looks like they did end up trading. Overall. I would honestly say that's a pretty good trade for the side of the defense.
Oh yeah, I think the defense definitely came out ahead in that trade, especially considering you're losing what soft destruction you have left. And as we say that, Mr. Fizzy takes out another one for this round, and these roamers continue to put in massive amounts of work on this defense, just not even letting the attackers get into the site.
Oh yeah, Boozler gonna be trying to push up to main lobby here. As one of the 2 last attackers left alive. Bob Ross gonna be holding down that service entrance, using his leash and wants to keep up the pressure and try to slow them down as much as he can. Is Mr. Fizzy gonna be sitting inside VIP? He has the opportunity if he wants to jump out that big window, like it looks like Bob Ross tried to do through the doorway. But Flaccid gonna take him down. Mr. Fizzy gonna start making that rotation, realizing they're going more towards sight and giving up on the verticality as they have no one left to do it. Flaccid gonna be trying to peek over to service door as one is inside of bathroom here. Gonna take down Nug here as he gets him with the nice woozling. And PhD Scott gonna use that smoke SMG 11 to take him, hopefully take one down. But Fizzy gonna take down the diffuser and the thermite as he goes for the breach. And PhD Scott gonna finally win it out, using the big brain of smoke to stop anyone from coming in. Actually, I don't think we did see any smoke grenades, did we?
No, I don't think he ended up even having to throw out any of the canisters. And when your roamers are stalling that much, I guess you don't really need to stall yourself.
Yeah, but at the same time, a little bit of worry in the future rounds if you know, if he ends up in another situation like that, he has something really to like. It's definitely a good utility to stop him from being able to enter.
Mm-hmm.
And always like a good thing to be able to just whip out, even if no one is where you're throwing it, you could still give yourself that sense of security that, you know what, they could try to run through this, but they're gonna get massively injured in the process. And I still got my buddy up alive. He's gonna be able to hopefully take him down with a couple shots.
Yeah, especially when you aren't in a situation where you have to hold on to the smoke canisters in case of a late round push. Like, the situation that you're in would allow you to just kind of throw some out and not have to worry about not having them later in the round.
Attackers need to locate
Ooh,
and
a little
defuse
bit
as
interesting
many
six
bombs
pick
as
here
they
off
can.
the Vigil into the Maestro. Gonna bring in the nice, everyone's favorite camera operator into the game with the Alda of 81 bullet machine of death.
Yeah, and now with this half switch, we're seeing Syracuse opt to go kitchen for their first defensive round, as opposed to what Western Michigan was doing with their hookah billiards being their first site choice.
Yeah, definitely trying to, at this point, they are in very much deficit, and at this point, Syracuse cannot afford to drop any more rounds here.
10 seconds
So
to go.
they're definitely gonna have to play a lot more safe. So they're gonna be trying to take a site that they're more comfortable with, and hopefully be able to pull this out for themselves and at least bring this to overall partial win for the side of West Michigan.
Yeah, hopefully we see Syracuse start to win more of their gunfights here. Maybe they'll be able to. Some of their fraggers will start, heating up a little bit and getting some more kills on the board. Because if Western Michigan wants to pressure this and force gunfights, they can, and they've been winning most of them. And now on attack, having arguably stronger guns for these gunfights. If you're Syracuse, you're not.
Oh
It's
my
not
goodness!
looking great.
Just immediately using the intelligence to let him know, you know what? Just go in like the Kool-Aid man. Just break that wall open. It's not
Bust in.
Void Edge yet, and he's still just going in and pretending he's playing that operator. He's ready.
Hopefully, we see Syracuse able to recognize that this push is coming from Hookah, and I don't know if their roamers have any idea at all at this point.
It looks like they might be setting themselves up for a little bit of disaster as that pinch might start coming in here. As you can see here, both the defenders still anchoring pretty hard, so at this point they don't have an escape except for that hatch by Valued, but both their accessibility to it is very limited. Flashbang gonna come out from later nerd, gonna be able to pressure tick up a little bit in this back wall, and a swing from PhD Scott giving out his location as well. Smoke grenade gonna go out to stop him being able to push, and tick up gonna be trying to stall as much time as he can back in here as Bob Ross watching the escape and trying to get the information from that drone as well. But tick up gonna get wall banged immediately, and Value gonna get taken off the board as well. That's 2 of the defenders gone from the good old pinch maneuver.
Just like that, the second floor is clear for Western Michigan to do whatever they want with. Now open up the floor a little bit more, try to put some more pressure on the anchors that are down on site.
And you see there, they were just playing really passively. kind of allowing themselves to be able to get pinched in that situation, and then kind of giving themselves the, a little bit of bad situation. But Boozler are gonna try to bring it back, taking out PhD Scott off the Zofia, and hopefully be able to bring this right back as he goes onto his cam by a drone hole that is very, very much universally peaked by everyone. But oh my god, Fizzy takes down Obese Tyrese, Flaccid gonna headshot Bob Ross, and it looks like Flaccid in the position to end up in more action, as well as Nug not that far away, but Leitner gonna walk up the hallway and see if he can get the information onto the Legion, knowing that someone's definitely courtyard, but not exactly where. Leitner will take down Flaccid though, and win out that fight, as Boozler still hiding inside of the bathroom here, not only punished by his exact positioning, and Nug 30 gonna be putting down that lovely diffuser inside kitchen, as Boozler gonna take a step out and decide to go for a nice little evening jog here.
Yeah, Boozler able to get one down, and now with this diffuser down, he finds himself in a retake scenario. If you're Maestro, you have a pretty good chance here. Takes down one, and now it's just him versus the IQ on Nug. Don't think he knows where he is. Gonna get taken down, unfortunately, from the IQ inside of Sunrise. Yeah, didn't have that intel that was necessary, but almost pulled it out, and that was a pretty impressive attempt at a retake.
And really good on Sledge too. I just want to point out, throughout his drone before, while he knew he was still had a couple extra seconds to kind of give out his fellow dead attackers the information of whether or not he's going to peek and allow them to make that call out. Probably also give out his position a little bit too, unless he did shoot it. But yeah, really good instincts there.
Yeah, now with that round victory for Western Michigan, they've secured a tie and have won 6 rounds in a row. So hopefully Syracuse can find some momentum back onto their side, or else this is going to look like a quick 7-1 victory for Western Michigan.
Oh my goodness. Just look at the kills. Boozler and Leitner both popping off with 11 kills. They're really feeling this happen. Mr. Fizzy not that far behind too with 7 kills, and Bob Ross with 8. You could really see, from the positions they're playing, just how much kills both teams are ending up on top. As the supports, of course, not really playing too aggressive angles, but definitely setting up their, roamers and soft roamers to be able to get a lot of information to know exactly where they need to be looking. Really coming in handy. You can never count on a support's work.
Yeah, no, the support players have been putting in an incredible effort for both sides here. Unfortunately, Syracuse, their support players haven't quite been backed up as well by the fraggers as Western Michigan has, but they have this one round left to see if they can get some momentum towards their side, and maybe we'll see a 6 or a 5-round defensive sweep. Yeah.
I always find it funny because everyone always, because of Call of Duty and games like that, compare each other's KDs, and then you have people who play support characters who obviously aren't really being able to put themselves in more aggressive positions, and in the end don't really get as much kills onto the defense side as they would as the other people. You always got people always talking smack and oh yeah, my KD's higher than you.
Yeah, you really can't.
KD's higher.
You got to take everybody's KD with a grain of salt in this game, especially.
Roamers tend to have the most deaths, as of course, they're putting themselves in the riskiest situations, but they do get some kills to reward themselves to keep them stuff afloat. Sports, of course, taking the more defensive approach. Generally, not a lot of action. Just unfortunately, Obese Tyrese over here, taken down by Bob Ross by
through a window.
Yeah, I think he is aware. Oh wait, he got back up. The dog charge. Oh my goodness, the sniper just hit him from across the map there, as he was down before. Not anymore. Valued gonna take down PhD Scott. That is the or one of the doctors down from the side of West Michigan. And now you're gonna see a nice push coming in from the Ash. You're gonna try to pinch onto the Syracuse as he pushes down the hall. It looks like Jaeger is gonna try to push himself into a position to stop it from coming in. But later they're gonna just completely read it out, take down Obese Tyrese finally. And at this point, we're down to a lovely 3v4 for the side of West Michigan.
Yeah, with a minute and a half left, there's still a lot of potential for West Michigan to make this attack work, as long as they can figure out where these roamers are. There goes one down from Mr. Fizzy to tick up. Back down to that 3v3. Ella able to
Oh
take
my
out one and then
goodness.
gets refragged immediately.
He didn't get flash. There's no way he could have, because that was either he didn't get flash or this man just really knows the map well.
Yeah, that was a...
That was a really good swing.
Yeah, the fact that he was able to even get anyone down the Ella, that was very impressive. That whole
A lot of people in that situation for sure. You would think, oh, yeah, I'll at least take down one, but realistically speaking, he had to just aggressively swing out as they pushed for that to
Attackers
happen.
located a bomb.
And even though that they were so in sync and pushing at the same time, you know, managed to still take down one. I want to see the gadget usage coming in from smoke. Gonna stop them from being able to push in and trying to waste a little bit of time. One smoke grenade left as well, so he's in a not bad spot. There's 15 seconds left on the clock. He's gonna try to stall out this entire side entirely as the invisible smoke takes down one tick off of IQ. Last smoke going out onto the wall. At this point, I do think they have a small window, but Nug gonna realize he has to kind of play a little more aggressive here. Swing out, but Syracuse gonna win out the side of the top floor hookah.
Yeah, that was some pretty effective usage of the smoke canisters from Boozler at the end of the round there. He knew how much time he had to waste and was able to delay just enough so that it put Western Michigan on the back foot and made them have to move at a pace that they probably weren't comfortable with going into those last few seconds of the round there.
I'm gonna see Syracuse not opting. Oh, looks like they were about to opt to go back to where instead of opting to go back to a kitchen, they're actually gonna go to a blue bar instead. Gonna try to play this long angle out. Not a bad thing to get off early too, because like even if like kitchen is technically more comfortable, they still need to go perfect at this point. So getting rid of the danger now, not the worst idea. I mean, like you could definitely throw them off because they won't be expecting you to go blue bar right now. They might be expecting more of a kitchen hold. So you're gonna have that little bit of a shakeup as you know, got a different bit of six picks here. Is six picking off the buck into Zofia.
Attackers need
I mean,
to
I don't
locate
think
and
no matter
defuse
what,
the bomb.
if you bring a Zofia, there's almost no situation where you're bad.
Yeah, no, you're never gonna really suffer from having a Zofia on your team.
Definitely one of those universal operators that no matter what, you'll always welcome having it. Like honestly, you don't really see that many comps without a Sophia being brought.
No, definitely not.
Looks like similar setup. Looks like they're bringing the castle instead. Hopefully see some nice spicy castle setups coming in. Kind of stall them out, but actually I don't think any of these defenders have a shotgun unless Castle opted to bring his. So that's going to mean the entirety of Blue Bar wall not going to be able to get destroyed from below.
Yeah, the only thing, because Castle doesn't even have his shotgun yet. That's only in the TS currently, right? I believe.
No, I do believe he has a shotgun normally. It's just no one pulls it out.
Oh, no one ever uses it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're thinking of the secondary super short.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. You can still take the primary shotgun, and I do see some people do take it just for the sake of, you know, good old UMP, worst gun in the game. So why not just bring in the shotgun? You know, problem solved.
Yeah.
And you have to see at this point, they're gonna be at a nice 2-6 scoreline. So at this point, as you can see here, everyone trying to play super seriously. Everyone trying to just hold this out. 2 minutes left on the clock. Drone work going to be nice and intensive as they want to make sure that no mistakes are being pulled out here no more. And they can just end this right here and there.
Yeah, hopefully trying to clear out these roamers as quickly as they possibly can.
Ooh, and Nug going to be pushing into Hoka there. Going to get some shots toward Value. Not going to take any health down, but more shots going to get thrown at him. Looks like he's going to have to play a little bit aggressive here as he takes down the Jackal. That's a pretty good pick for the other roamer as well. Value going to be in a little bit of sticky situation. Going to try to find his way out as he... And no, it looks like he's going to try to swing on and take down even more rather than opting to running away. Probably thinking that he's going to get pinched if he does try in doing so. But and you can see Obese Tyrese still playing beneath, I believe that would be beneath luggage in the security room there. You're going to be able to see if he could get something going from the side of main lobby when the attackers decide to try to push on it and pressure a Blue Bar as Mr. Fizzy going to start the, good old sledge job, breaking out the entirety of Blue Bar and trying to, declare this is going to be our land.
Yeah, doing a little bit of remodeling, trying to make those defenders as uncomfortable as possible sitting down there on these bar sites.
And you can see the next set of
Bomb
holes going to be
located by
coming out.
attackers.
Probably more toward who. Oh, it looks like they're not really opting to sludge over Sunrise. Gonna be focusing more on that blue bar hold. Especially gonna be effective since they do not have the wall open whatsoever. So they're gonna be able to just walk in and be able to plant, despite any bit of main lobby control being in this game. Unless they
Yeah,
get spotted out from a camp.
yeah, exactly. Now having all this vertical play open, if they are able to get this diffuser down, it'll be very, very difficult for Syracuse to retake and disable it during a retake scenario.
Ooh, Mr. Busy. Gonna be getting some shots in with later, taking down the people inside Sunrise. The attacker's in a
15
super
seconds
good
left.
point here, but 15 seconds left on the clock. They have to get
Attackers
things
have
going
located a
now
bomb.
and make sure that there are no mistakes as they go for the plans here. As Bulls are gonna take down later nerd, PhD Scott taking out Beast Tyrese. Not gonna try to plant the diffuser, but the last defender of Boozler are gonna get taken down by none other than PhD Scott. That is the game for West Michigan here.
Yeah, that was very impressive. A very impressive showing from Western Michigan, being down so far on their map pick of Cafe on that first map, and then being able to roll with that momentum and just dominate here on Coastline.
Oh yeah, and at this point too, we are going to be able to get our interview since that is 2 wins back to back for the side of West Michigan, and good old just gonna be able to start setting that up as well. And that was a really good showing. Like the defenders of just Fizzy and Fizzy and
And later
later
nerd.
nerd
Yep.
just putting off so much stalling work on the top floor, taking down at least one. I think it was about 2 picks almost every single round from them both.
Yeah,
Like,
they were able to do a significant amount of damage to the pushes of Syracuse from those positions that they were playing inside of theater and penthouse and eventually VIP towards the later half of the rounds. And even in the rounds where they weren't able to get those opening picks, they were able to stall a significant amount of time out of the round, which put the attack on a back foot and made them have to play in a position that they were probably uncomfortable in.
ooh, it looks like we'll be getting interview getting set up from none other than the Doctor PhD Scott himself. As soon as we get that nice and set
The
up.
big brain.
Oh yes, the big brain coming out indeed, flexing out that big IQ everywhere, and really playing dominant angles. Like even on the last map, bringing in the Ella, I believe that was him, but the Ella on top of the staircase, just dominating that short range area, handling anyone that goes for the drop because he will hear it immediately flick over and hit their head, and then anyone who tries to pressure him on red will just immediately get peeked as again Ella, the monster of short range gunfights, as he does have that scorpion who just shoots out so many bullets at such a high rate. And not only that, but you could also take the shotgun that's just known to clear out rooms because my goodness, that thing just does not stop firing.
Yeah, that thing rips through walls, people, anything you put in front of it that will take them down very, very swiftly. And yeah, that Ella play, like you mentioned, was I don't think talked about it enough during that map, but yeah, that hold was what ended up winning the map for uh, Western Michigan on their defensive side.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of strong play from Western Michigan between the two maps. Just as we highlighted, just back and forth, over and over again. You know, really showing their good old domination on both maps as well. Like
Yeah,
they were the ones that pulled that 6-0 comeback, right?
yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we should be getting PhD in here for the interview right away.
Welcome, welcome, Mr. PhD Scott, coming in with that doctorate. How are you feeling today?
Oh, pretty good. A little stressed, but not bad.
Yes. I gotta ask. Throughout the first map, just seeing that the scoreline was, I believe, 5-1 in Syracuse's favor, how did it feel to just know that you had to start pulling this back all the way perfectly in order to, allow yourself to either get the win at the very least?
Well, I mean, you saw Nug crashed when Nug the whole time we had Nug without sound completely. Mics and game sound was gone. One of our other guys also had very minimum sound, couldn't really hear too well. So obviously for us defending, and we normally defend fairly well on that map, just that was kind of frustrating. But once we got everything fixed, we decided to pull it through. We attacked first. That's what it was. Defending, we're normally pretty solid on that map. So we knew we had it. We kept winning our rounds every time, winning our gunfights one at a time, just kept it one round each time.
Yeah, definitely a very, very dominant display on that map, it for sure. Going into Coastline, knowing that it was, I believe that was Syracuse's pick as well. Do you feel any bit of, like they did pull off a bit of a dominant lead on the defense starting? Maybe they might do some a little bit of a tricky, like some tricky strats and whatnot on the Coastline.
Yeah, we haven't really done anything for coastline. We try to stay away from coastline, but I mean coastline is coastline. It's basically just a frag heavy map, pretty much. Defense, we didn't really know what to do. We kind of just had two guys decide to roam, and the rest of us just stay close to site as best as possible. Defending was actually pretty good for us. I was surprised we did that well on it since we don't really practice coastline at all. And just after winning our 5 rounds on defense, we just went into attack pretty confident.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Bagel, you got any questions?
Do not have any questions. Oh, fake. My bad.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't know. I think we touched on a lot of it. I'm glad you were able to talk to us about the mentality of trying to deal with those issues that your players had and get your heads back into the round. When you switched onto attack on Coastline, were you guys planning on playing around objective or just trying to get those gunfights in your favor as a lot of your teammates were fragging out pretty heavy at the end there?
We were actually really trying to play the site. Like when they defended kitchen, we found out they were going kitchen. We really wanted to play upstairs, just do a normal take. Obviously things didn't go exactly the way we wanted. We had to rotate all the way down through sunrise and into site, playing right there by the door. A little sketchy, but we knew the maestro was not on site. We had two guys covering the plant as well. So switching to attack, we just wanted to try to get the defuse down. But like I said already, coastline is a frag heavy map. So once you get the frags, that's end of game.
Exactly. Well, thank you for that insight. That was awesome.
Yes, thank you for coming out, Mr. PhD Scott. I hope you enjoy your nice, lovely, lovely win tonight as you get a little bit of a break for the week. Hopefully for yourself. I gotta love exam seasons. Not only that, but thank you all, everyone who came out to come and watch. This has been our lovely match with me and Keldev and Mr. Rotating Bagel over here. Not to mention our lovely, lovely observer Carpe Bono Sensum coming in with a lot of the different camera work and so every single annoying thing that observers have to go through, bearing with it all and giving us a nice, good showing here. And last but not least, thank you again to our lovely sponsors. We have CORSAIR bringing up the prize pool with their peripherals, as we mentioned before, with those lovely, lovely peripherals, bringing all those clutch plays as well. And what's new, hopefully giving us helping us drop our merch by before the end of the month, pretty sure. And once those come out, I'm sure you will all enjoy them a lot. And with our last sponsor, Rogue Energy, bringing in us a nice, nice energy drink, keeping us energized for tonight and keeping everything going. And yeah, it's been tonight's game, and I hope you enjoy. I do believe we do have a match tomorrow, as that will be uh it'll be an invite game for sure, and just a little bit up for debate of which exact match it'll be. But do stay tuned for tomorrow's match. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Wishing that I could run away with you. Imprisoned by fear, just pull me away, pull me away. Secret fantasies of me. Will they ever see the light of day, light of day? Prison by fear, just pull me away, pull me away. Secret fantasies of me. Will they ever see the light of day, light of day?